Welcome back for another book review. Today we're talking about this one. So this is the Essential Book of Celtic Spells, Magic Ways of Power. So this is a brief introduction into the Celts. It's got a little bit on heroes and historical figures, deities, even like mystical animals kind of related to that area. There's just a little bit of everything in here, and then towards some of the end of like the certain sections, there will occasionally be a related spell for each one. So I was torn between a 2 and a 3, but I figured I already had a 1 star this year, so I could give it a little nudge. And this one's a 3, because it's not that bad, it's just also not that good. So this one, I feel like the title and the fact that the big words on the cover is Celtic Spells was a little misleading. This is really just a small little textbook. Also, I forgot to mention, but I talked about it when I hauled this, there's no back. Irksome. Why? Give me blobby blobs. Because I was kind of curious how they would have described it, but you have to look online to find it out, and I don't care that much. But anyways, I felt like the title of the book should usually try and reflect it, and I talked about that a lot throughout this year. There are plenty of books where it's like, the title says it all. That's not the case for this one. This is an introduction into the Celts. And much like a lot of the books, it focuses mainly on the Welsh, Scottish, Irish, and English. There was like a little teeny bit sometimes mentioned here and there for like the Anglo-Saxons, but really, this is those main 4. So besides the fact that it's mostly just an introduction little textbook intro thing, it also just consent. Why do we hate consent? Why is that such a thing that we're just like, it's fine. It did have a different twist I did not anticipate. Normally, when I go on my soapbox of consent, it's usually for romantic relationships, but this time it was also friendships. If your friend dumps you, just bring them back into your life magically, that's fine. We don't care about, you know, consent. Because I feel like when we put it as like, well, if you talk to their divine will, it's like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna put that as an option, you know? Like, if somebody's going to harm you in more physical ways, for them to be like, well, I got your consent because, like, your divine self said it was fine, versus yeah, actually saying the words, you know, consent, it matters. It's fine. Like, I don't know why so many books are like, well, just forget that. It's fine. Stop it. Even if, like, I don't know, it's one of those ethics that I'm like, ethically, how can you think it's fine? If you truly believe your magic can do things and can manifest things, why would your ethics of consent not apply? It's a little spooky and a little scary that you think it's fine. Because what else in your life are you going to say consent doesn't matter? Because it does. It really does. You should let people have free will. They should have a choice in the matter and be fully informed of what you're planning to do. That's how magic should roll. Also in this book, I don't know if it applies other places, because, you know, it only tells you so much. But at least here, from what I could find for the US, it is super duper illegal to have crow feathers. And on page 41, she encourages you to have them. That's illegal. And I think if you're caught, you definitely get a fine. I don't know if you get jail time. I don't know if that applies to other places in the world, but here in the US, super illegal. Don't do that. Like there's a lot of birds that you're not allowed to own feathers for, and crows and ravens are those. Both of them. I looked. So said Google. It is uber duper illegal. So that was like, I don't know, is that a thing in the UK? Maybe? I don't know. I feel like a lot of places have things for like wildlife to like not encourage poaching and things. So yeah, overall this book was just, it was okay. It felt kind of weird to include like random historical figures, just a few deities, and the spells were just kind of like, they all honestly kind of also very similar, but I feel like we kind of get into that rut of like, well, this is what works, I'm gonna stick with it. Like, I know I am heavy on candle magic. I feel like a lot of witches are, but also like maybe kitchen witches are more like, yeah, you could use a candle, or you could just cook it, it's fine. Or, you know, garden witches, maybe you wanna have herb bundles or whatever. But yeah, the spells just kind of all felt kind of the same and kind of like, I don't know, to me they felt a little silly, to be perfectly honest. But that could also just be I was already salty because it was like, really? Consent, why would we have that? And also the title just does not seem to be matching. And I don't know, I feel kind of weird calling on historical figures to just fit my needs. That's a little weird to me. But I don't know, I'd love to know your thoughts on it because that just... So if you are new to anything with the Celtic region, this would be a good place to kind of start, get some ideas. Definitely you're going to need to do more research, but it gives you an intro at least. I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. A huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me, get access to exclusive content. On Tuesdays, I have different book talks. On Thursdays, I have my audiobooks. And then on Saturdays, I just want to say Fridays. On Saturdays is when I talk about my own witchcraft journey and what I'm up to. So if you want to follow along for all of the extra little doodados of chit chats from me, it is always linked down below. Of course, here on the main channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.